All right, time to talk some more NFL, national NFL storylines. We do it every single week, every Thursday, with the number one newsman in all of the land. If he still were alive, Edward R. Murrow would call him the Edward R. Murrow of NFL reporting. The Mike Garafolo Show, brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Also, Zogs on Fox Island, perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch the game. Check out Zogs on Facebook and Instagram for their fall hours and event times. All right, we're going to talk about the latest OC search for the Seahawks. Hank Fraley, Brian Schottenheimer going to Dallas, Pete Carroll back in the NFC West. We're going to get to that. We'll get to a championship preview, and we're going to get to the finalists for the NFL awards that were announced. And Mike Garafolo is with us right now. You always put me into panic when I don't hear from you in the morning. Every week. It puts me in a panic, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Good to hear from you, Puck.
Though. You're always here, and I know it, and I know you always will be, but it's just that moment. There's always it's like Goodwill Hunting. There's that moment. I'm gonna come to the door and you're not there.
That was a good ending.
It was a great ending.
No spoilers.
I think, but I would assume most people have seen it by now. I would hope, right?
Most people, yeah. Most people like apples.
Yeah. All right. What's the latest? What do we know? Are we down to 3? Is it Kubiak, Fraley, and then the wonder kid Ubinski?
Could be some others in there. You know.
Ooh, well, do tell, Mike Garafolo.
I'm just saying there could be. There is. He's gonna probably through the weekend. It sounds like. Sounds like Mike McDonald is very thorough with this search, which is good because he wasn't last year. And well, it's not to say that he wasn't last year, but it was sort of a pairing for him. We talked about it. We don't have to go back there, but. This is like, who's my guy? Who's my guy? Meeting with them over Zoom, bringing them all in, talking to them face to face. So we'll see. Yeah, seems like maybe early next week you'll have a call, or maybe over the weekend. We'll see.
Okay, could Chip Kelly be on their radar?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I asked about that and was pretty sure no. Was told no this time around.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
If you
but I've asked so many in different teams and this and that, and this interview scheduled for this guy. Wasn't that already out there? No, it's not. Or maybe that's just, a lot of this stuff's getting muddled.
Last week when we spoke, we talked about Kubiak being in the driver's seat. Is he still there, or is he no longer in the driver's seat? Is he in the back of the station wagon?
He is. No, he's in the mix. I mean, they seem to have good interactions with him, and they've seemed to have, got good feedback on him, and they like the system, and they like what he was able to do with a healthy Chiefs offense or Saints offense, which did not last very long this year. So, driver's seat or whatnot. I mean, he was the first guy up. And we weren't sure they were going to do a full second round, but looks like they did a full second round here. So, we'll see. I'd still put them up there with the favorites for sure.
Okay, I want to just revisit. Do you think? I mean, listen, I'm going to ask you a timetable, and then I'm not trying to hold you to it, but you think this thing wraps up by next week?
Oh gosh, yeah. I think by next week for sure.
Early portion of the week. Or?
I would say early portion of the week. I don't see why it would go any further unless they're waiting for somebody still left in the playoffs. But seemed like they've got everybody on their radar that they've spoken to on this one. So, yeah, we'll see.
What's the deal with Fraley? Why would he not go? Why would Johnson not take him to Chicago?
Why would Johnson not take him to Chicago? I don't know. I'm not going inside Ben Johnson's mind, but. I don't know. I mean, the fact that the Lions let him interview for the Seahawks job, which I don't know if actually you can deny that one. But yeah, I mean, I think Ben's got his own guys in mind for that job. I don't know if Hank Fraley is one of them. But Ben Johnson was asked yesterday. I thought this was funny. I was asked at his press conference if he plans on calling plays, and he said yes. That's like asking, Tiger if he plans on hitting driver this round. Yes, he's going to do that. There's no doubt about it.
Is Fraley a candidate to be the OC with Detroit?
I have not heard that. I have not heard that specifically. I think Dan Campbell is looking for somebody with the imagination of Ben Johnson and what he was able to do. Fraley's his role here, all this is the offensive line guys, the running game. And how does this marry to what you're doing in the passing game? But you don't see those guys mentioned as complete outside the box. We're running all the stuff that Ben Johnson was running. I know Dan Campbell wants to see if he can sort of replicate that or get somebody with some fresh ideas in that regard. They're hard to come by, which is why Ben Johnson was such a hot candidate.
Yeah, one of your colleagues, Albert, well, not colleague at the NFL Network, but just a colleague in the NFL world, Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated. Are you over your beef with Breer now, or is that?
I never beef with Breer.
I'm just joking. I'm just making shit up.
You may hit a dart. You keep doing that with the people in the media.
That's like what I want to do. All right, so he talked about, hey, they'd be open to a split role. Now, this wouldn't be anything unique to Seattle. They did this for a long time with Tom Cable being the offensive line coach, and then the run game coordinator. Then Darrell Bevell was the passing game coordinator, and then the de facto offensive OC for the team. Do you see the Seahawks being open to that, of just bringing him in, and then it's kind of a split role?
I don't see it as a split role. I mean, in the end, somebody's your offensive coordinator, and somebody is going to be the guy that's calling the plays. And you got a lot of run game coordinators these days, and pass game coordinators, and sometimes both underneath an offensive coordinator. A lot of times, it's a title that you're given. I mean, look. Jeff Stoutland in Philly, the offensive line coach, is a huge part of what they're doing in the run game, right? You can give him the run game coordinator title. You can not give it, like, the offensive line is always, that guy's always going to be. So yeah, I mean, it'll be some kind of that role. But I don't look at it as a 50-50 type split. I think in the end, they're going to have themselves an offensive coordinator with potentially somebody there as a strong presence in the run game, if it's the way that they're going with Fraley, like we're talking about here.
All right, tell Seattle fans out here, Mike, all right, please, why is Brian Schottenheimer going to be the new head coach of the Cowboys?
Dak Prescott?
Okay.
If that's what winds up happening, it looks like we're potentially close there. Dak Prescott. I would say Dak Prescott, Jason Witten. Those are the two reasons. Dak Prescott wanting continuity, having a good relationship with Brian Schottenheimer, and also Jerry Jones interested in having Jason Witten on the coaching staff. And I don't know that all candidates, I know for sure all candidates are not necessarily comfortable with that, because that in the end he wants that guy to be the head coach. And if you're coming in and taking the job, it's like, why have that over my shoulder immediately? And there was talk of a shorter term deal with Mike McCarthy, which I believe was the bridge between the now and the future with Jason Witten. And McCarthy, to his credit, said, I've earned more than that. And so that's why they never really got into the details of the contract extension. So Brian Schottenheimer hasn't been on the head coaching hot ranks for quite some time now. I mean, we're talking 14, 15 years. And this might be his last shot. So for him, okay, well, yeah, even if it's a transitional period, might as well take my crack here, especially with a good organization. I call it a good job. I mean, I know a lot of folks are looking at it right now saying, you know what, I think I'd rather go elsewhere. But those are the folks with some skins on the wall. And those are the folks with some leverage to play. Brian Schottenheimer doesn't have that right now.
Okay, so if he just wants Witten to take over, because that Jerry Jones just wants Witten to be the coach at some point, why doesn't he just hire him now?
Because Jeff Saturday got hired. I mean, Saturday had high school coaching experience like Witten did.
Is that what he's doing now? Is he coaching high school football?
Yes. Yeah. So that didn't go well.
Wait, he didn't do well at the high school ranks?
Who? Witten? No, Witten did very well.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Saturday.
The Saturday as the coach of the Colts did not go. Now, that was middle of the season interim type stuff. That was next level bat crap crazy. This would be similar, though. I mean, to take a guy who doesn't have any coaching experience above that level and throw him into an NFL head coaching job, he didn't float when he did that with Monday Night Football either. So,
it's just funny. It's just funny that when, out here, especially in Seattle, when his name has been thrown around to the head coaching job with the Cowboys, there's no one can understand it. People are like, how? How? God, his name was even mentioned by some fans out here to return as offensive coordinator. I'm like, he was fired. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
He's been fired everywhere, but I don't know. I mean,
he son of a coach. I tell you this all the time. What a guy does as a coordinator doesn't necessarily indicate what he's going to be as a head coach.
That's fair.
I think you're seeing some folks that have been hired last year into this year, and we're gonna see the results here for some of these guys going forward here. So, is it? They know him better than me. They're in the building with him every single day.
Right.
He was a hot head coaching candidate at one point. We'll see. I just how do you fire a guy who won 12 games 3 years straight and then just promote a guy who's on nobody else's radar?
And Brian Schottenheimer, nobody else is bringing in
tough sell
for an interview. Pete Carroll. There's been a report out there that the Niners could look at him to bring him in as a DC. That would be, I'm going to be honest with you, that'd be so phenomenal if he was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers and plays the Seahawks twice a year.
Yeah.
Sign me up now for this. I'm all in.
I don't. Pete Carroll's got to be a head coach or nothing at this point, right? Why would you do that? Who reported that, by the way?
Tim Kawakami.
Tim Kawakami? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim's plugged in, so.
Yeah. Tim's been covering that Bay Area, covering the 49ers for years.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Mike. You and I, we love football. We love sports. We know what we're in. We're in the entertainment business. This would be
disgusting.
This would be
has come up inside the headquarters.
What's that?
No, he said that's the way it's come up inside the building.
Come on. Make it happen. Come on, Shanahan.
Just for the entertainment value. Yeah.
Oh.
But he hasn't been in that role. Like, you're just gonna that's a guy gets out of that role. Jason Garrett was an offensive coordinator, did a great job. Cowboys head coach for 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it was. Giants go, well, we're gonna make him when you're out of that role for so long, it's just so hard to go back into that role.
I want him on there with the red shirt on or the Cardinal shirt on, and he's over there smacking his gum with his Monarchs, throwing footballs down at
Kyle
Lumen.
Shanahan. If you're Kyle, why would you want that?
Just to have that, he's got more energy than Kyle does.
Oh, I don't doubt that. But why would you want that? Why would you want that?
Win forever. They change everything inside the building. They're bringing a basketball hoop into the meetings. Oh, man.
Twice a year would make for good fodder.
Oh, God, it'd be great. Is there what about the Raiders job? Because he's going to be linked to the Raiders job. Obviously, the Bears job is out because of Ben Johnson, but any legs still for him possibly joining the Raiders?
Which is fascinating to me because Tom Brady comes in and Tom Brady's going to take his big swing at Ben Johnson. And Ben decides to go elsewhere, right? And you're Mark Davis, and Mark Davis is almost becoming a spectator at his own team here, right? Like, you've got Tom Brady hiring his buddy as general manager, and he's the reason that they blew out the head coach and the GM when there was a support for both of those guys inside the building. And it's like minority owner in name only.
He's running the ship.
I keep saying the minority owner continues to have a major influence on the Las Vegas Raiders right now. It is incredible. And it's not just him. I mean, it's the new ownership group as well. I thought Antonio Pierce for a minute was going to survive. And leading up to that, I didn't. I mean, it was the minute of nothing happened on Monday and they were into Tuesday. I'm like, oh, he's going to make it. But you take a step back and you go, you're Tom Brady, you're this new ownership group. You're going to do something. You're going to make a move. And in the end, they decided to make the move.
What's he hired the assistant GM from Tampa. He was there, right, when Brady was there.
Yeah.
The hiring of him indicates what? Do they go down a Tampa Bay tree? I mean, what insight do you get from him hiring the gentleman from Tampa Bay to be the new GM in terms of what they want to do for a head coach?
In terms of what they want to do for a head coach?
Yeah. Does that give you
there's no real pairing. I mean, Liam Cohen would have been the pairing if you're pairing him with John Spytek. I mean, Spytek knows other people around. I've known John for quite some time. He's a smart guy. He's a sharp guy. He does a nice job. But no, I think it's now they're going to do now it's almost like they're doing a full search. Before it was Ben Johnson or bust. Now it's like we've got to go through the full search here. So, we'll see if the guys that are still in the postseason here. Steve Spagnuolo interviewed there, and I know Brady thinks extremely highly of Spags. There hasn't been a whole lot of chatter that they're waiting for him at this point. So, let's see if this search plays out over the next week, because now these guys that are in the conference championship can interview next week in between. If they've already interviewed with these teams, they can interview between then and the Super Bowl if they're still in it.
Hey, a fun little connection. We talked about this on yesterday's show. If Carroll got hired with the Raiders, you think he would call his good buddy John Schneider and be like, hey, you want to get out of Geno? How about you trade him to us? We don't have an option at quarterback.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of an interesting reunion. Pete and Geno back together. And he loves Geno.
And then what do the Seahawks do? I mean, everybody's in quarterback purgatory here, right?
I don't know what they do. Nothing. They play the next season, Mike, without a quarterback. First team in NFL history.
That's not the first team. I mean, they didn't have the forward pass at one point. So
they go back to the wing tee. You know, the wing tee I think would always thrive.
We ran the wing tee in high school. We had passing plays.
Okay, how'd you do with the wing tee? Pretty good, I bet.
No, we sucked. I was playing offensive line. How do you think we did?
You were offensive line?
Yeah.
At what? Like $160?
No, well, I'm like 175 now.
Okay.
I was 215 in high school. I mean, I tried to bulk up. And
yeah. What kind of lifting and steroid program were you on?
We were taking creatine back then, which is creatine still allowed? It had just popped when we were taking it. And the results were like, whoa, okay.
I think this would come to a shock to you. I'm not a creatine expert.
Yeah. Nor am I. I don't do supplements anymore or anything like that. I used to take a pre-workout thing that my wife's nutritionist recommended for me, a little combination, and I don't know if it ever really worked. I don't take it now, and I think I have my better work, so I think it's all baloney. But the creatine was like, I'm benching 170, take the creatine next week, 185. I was like, okay, that's
I need some old high school video of you pulling on that wing tee. God, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Great.
They make you pull, and they'd be like, duck the shoulder when you're coming around. And
yeah.
I was just like,
I bet you were a menace.
Run around. Then I watch these guys in the NFL. Nobody's ducking their shoulder. But like when you come around the corner, try to make a tight turn and duck your, I'm like, nobody's doing that. These guys are upright. There he is. Boom. They also, my freshman year, they wanted us to block like the old plastic guys, like with the wing, and you block them.
Yeah. Like the chicken wing out there.
That's how they block in the NFL. Why are we doing this? They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why would we not do what they're doing?
It's the wing tee. It's the wing tee blocking schemes. Who do you think's had more success in his first year? Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Do you like both hires also for both those organizations? Oh, you don't. Which one don't you like?
We'll see, man. We'll see.
You don't like Glenn in New York.
I didn't say that.
You don't like Johnson with the Bears.
I didn't say that either.
Oh,
I didn't say that either. We don't know. We don't know. That's why I'm like, what I give you this, and all I do is give you a clip to throw back at my face in 2 years. That's all I
don't do that. I don't throw anything back in your face.
I know.
I don't say like, "Oh, gotcha, you said this. You were wrong."
Yeah, no. I don't know how the Glenn hire is gonna. I have no idea. That could be great, could be bad. I don't know.
It's also kind of based on like the ownership, right? I mean, because they all have to work together, and if the ownership's dysfunctional, it doesn't matter who you hire.
And who's the GM too? We're still waiting to see what.
Oh, they don't even have a GM, do they?
They have not hired a GM yet. No,
they already hired the coach. I
didn't
even know.
They're bringing in 2 more people today. We thought they were settling on Lance Newmark, who has a connection with Aaron Glenn from their time in Detroit together. Newmark now with the Commanders, but that was not done yesterday as part of the package deal, and they scheduled even more interviews. So we'll see. I mean, I think they're coming down the home stretch there.
But that is dysfunctional, I think. I mean, I maybe it's done before, but well, don't you let your GM make the hire? Isn't he the one who's supposed to make it?
They're both. It depends. Do they both report to the owner? Do they one report? I mean, in this case, you've got to figure Aaron Glenn reports to Woody Johnson and the GM as well, because otherwise the hire would be in place, like you're talking about. It depends on the structure.
Does Woody get his title back now that the big man's in charge now? Does he go back to London or England?
No, they already picked somebody else.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Too bad for Woody. It was a good role for him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get something else, but all indications are he's going to be,
Do they still have to call him? What was his title that he made people call him?
Ambassador.
Do they still have to do it? Walking around the facility?
I will let you know when they have their next press conference, because the last one they had, they said Ambassador Johnson will be available at 11 a.m. So let's see how they refer to him on this one.
If you were an ambassador to any country, what would it be? What would your choice be?
Aruba. Just go live there. Nothing going on. Not since the Natalie Holloway thing, which is great. But no, that's not great. But what was great is we started going there in the years after that, and they were making it clear this is a safe island that is extremely rare, and their tourism has always been, and they're the friendliest people, and tourism has always been a big part of what they do. And they were really ratcheting it up in the years after because they were worried that people weren't going to go there because of the incident there. And so it's just, they call it one happy island. It really is. It really is. Now, I don't know if I could live there. For every time I go there, I'm there for a week or whatever. And we haven't gone in a couple of years.
Ambassador Garafolo.
Could Aruba. I really, did we have an ambassador to Aruba? I don't even know.
I don't know, but we could make you. And that's you're going to be your new role when you leave the NFL Network.
The UK is a good one, though, because it's the relations are great. It's not a vital role. It's not like he was orchestrating any great deals between the countries or putting out fires between the two countries. And great golf,
wonderful golf,
good libations.
Yeah. All of it.
It's a good country. Is UK a country? It's a kingdom. It's not a.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the weather. I'm going someplace where it's warm. Your Aruba choice is but fabulous.
Again, would you want that the whole at some point?
Yes, you would. You right now, is it snowing there or where you're at? Is it miserable? Yeah. You'd want to be in Aruba.
I don't know.
Year round.
I think because the people there want to go on vacation to New York, and we're like, "Are you crazy?" And they go, "Yeah, trust me, you'd get tired of this all the time." Okay.
I don't know. Here's my theory on that one, because I want to move to San Diego, and people are, well, you get tired of the sunshine all the time. Let me just workshop that for a couple of years, and let's just see if I can get tired of it. Hey, what did I?
Well, hold on. Remember Craig Kilborn when he hosted the Late Show?
I love Craig Kilborn.
And I always used to love that he introduced himself every night.
Yes.
But he did the San Diego weatherman. Let's check the San Diego weatherman. Today's weather. Nice.
Perfect. What happened to him? He dropped off the face of the earth.
The Daily Show. Well, he was Daily Show, then Late Show, right? And then
they tried ESPN, Sports Center, Daily Show.
Sports Center, then Daily Show, then Late Show.
Right.
And then he left that to go.
He did some Hollywood stuff. He did some acting.
And that didn't take off. And he actually did have a show that they syndicated in the afternoons for a brief period, 5-6 years ago, I want to say. And I was trying to watch it, and it was on at weird times, and it didn't have the same punch to it. But he was great on. I loved him on the Daily Show. I loved him on the Late Show. The Daily Show then took a turn and became something completely different.
It was not the same show when he hosted it.
Right.
Hey, what are they going to do about? I mean, the Mahomes thing this last week. The sliding going down. We've talked about this a bunch. When he went out of bounds and then slowed down, got shoved, and then flopped like he was an NBA player. The leagues I would assume the league tries to do something in the offseason to change the rule, do something about the quarterbacks and them sliding and going out of bounds.
It'll be a point of conversation amongst the competition committee, which happens at the combine and then gets voted on at the league meetings the following month. So it'll be part of the conversation there. And I listen, I mean, he's not innocent. He's professing innocence. He's not innocent. And you do that. And it's because you're taking the health and safety and you're weaponizing it. You're using it as an advantage for yourself. And it's not cool. Now he didn't do anything in those hits to the head that were not hits to the head. I mean, that's not his fault. That's just the official. And I was where was I when that game was going on? I forget, but we're talking to other media members. I was like, don't call what you think you saw. Call what you see. Well, it looked like, because you didn't see it. You didn't see it. And if anybody complains, I couldn't see it from this angle. I couldn't see it. It looked like it, but I'm not sure I couldn't see it until I could see it. So call what you see. Don't call what you think you see.
Do you believe in the narrative and the theory from people that the league is protecting him?
No, I don't.
Are you just saying that because you work for the league?
No, protecting him. No, I always, to me, coming into these final games, I'm like, Buffalo, Washington would be cool. Two teams we haven't seen in a long time.
Great.
Why wouldn't we want those teams in there? Now you get a team sort of. I always think like if a Jaguars comes out of nowhere, the league doesn't want that, right? They don't want.
God, they are a dumpster fire. Oh my God.
Forget that. I'm just saying it's a small market team. It doesn't have a lot of history. When the NHL gets into the Final Four, and it's like, well, it could be Calgary and Columbus. Like, they don't want that, right? They want Rangers, Blackhawks. They want,
right.
I want Flyers, Blackhawks. I'll tell you, but that's the stuff that they want. I don't sit there like, we got to have Kansas City in the Super Bowl again. Like, I don't know. I think they would want one of these. Wouldn't you want Baltimore in there? Wouldn't you want a little change, a little fresh blood there?
I don't have Chiefs fatigue. I mean, I understand how other people have it. I mean, I don't find them unlikable. I love what they're doing, and I just respect and I think sit back as a sports fan in awe of what they're doing. In the salary cap, league and how they want parity, and they just keep winning and winning and winning. All right, we're going to chat next week at this time, and we'll be previewing what? What do you think? Give me your predictions.
Hold
on.
We
not predicting? Oh, we got something going on?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be at the Senior Bowl. I'm going to be flying back that day. Hold on, let's see what time I land.
We'll figure something out. But
let's do it now. Who cares? The people want to hear. The people want to know.
Who's going to play in the Super Bowl? Who do you think? Predict the
Buffalo and Washington.
That's what you think, huh?
Calling 2 upsets. Buffalo and Washington.
Rematch of, I can't remember what the Super Bowl was. But
yeah, it was 91, I think. 91.
The second one in which they lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, it was Giants, then Washington, Dallas. They lost, yeah. I land at 2:13 Eastern time, so I'm gonna be in the air at 1:20. So we'll have to finesse. We'll
figure something out. Mark Rippon, one-time fighting, scrapping Washington State Cougar, quarterback legend, MVP.
Was that game? I remember all the other games. I remember the Cowboys game. The Bills were up early. Cowboys just completely blew their doors off. The second one didn't seem like it was really a game for a while. I was a little rusty on that one. I remember the Giants one was a close one. Was the Washington one close? I don't remember that game at all.
I'm not going to look it up. Memory tells me it was close in the beginning, and then Washington pulled away, and like Rippon had a crazy game. And I can remember it. Wasn't it played in the Metrodome in Minneapolis?
Yes, it was. All right, so it was a scoreless first quarter.
Okay.
Followed by a 17-0 Washington second quarter. Followed by a touchdown. I mean, it was 24-0, 24-3, 24-10. It was never close after the first quarter. Chip Low-Miller's 34-yard field goal started the scoring, followed by Ernest Biner and Gerald Riggs.
Gerald Riggs. Oh, God, I love Gerald Riggs.
Yeah.
He was the best. He was so good.
They had a Riggs and a Riggins. That team. But I do remember because Peter Schrager, they rolled the highlight of Ernest Biner's touchdown, and it was about how he had this horrible moment in the AFC Championship game a couple years before, and then had a little bit of glory in this. So I sort of started to come back. So yeah, I'm going for a rematch of Super Bowl 26.
Okay. All right. Have fun at the Senior Bowl next week.
You got it, dude.
All right. See you, Mike. Mike Garafolo, NFL Network, the Mike Garafolo Show in the books. Again, brought to you by Hartley & Hartley Insurance. Zogs on Fox Island. The show will be up on YouTube. When you're there, please subscribe to the channel. Also on the audio podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. Just search Puck Sports. And when you're there, please rate and leave a review. Big thanks to Mike for jumping on. All right.